ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the American Esports Racing Association Cup Series. I am your commentator tonight, Austin Householder, and we are coming to you live from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, a 1 mile oval located in Loudon, New Hampshire, where these drivers will compete for 150 laps in the first race of the chase. And we'll get a live look at your chase drivers here, getting that pulled up on screen for you now. And the field has been set for the playoff chase. Seth LaCroix in first. David Joyner in second, 10 points behind. Joshua Edmonds will start the chase in third. Dawson Price will start the chase in fourth. Wesley Carter in fifth. Alexander Pelican in sixth. Tristan Haynes in seventh. Omar Rodriguez Jr. in eighth. Joseph Truskowski in ninth. And Joseph Miller just squeaking his way into the chase in 10th. So we're back on almost an even playing field for these drivers, as we saw a lot of dominance out of Seth LaCroix towards the middle and end of the regular season, but that all goes out the window now. And here at New Hampshire, it looks like Seth LaCroix is atop that leaderboard right now for the chase drivers. Although it's Connor Price with the fastest lap thus far, 27.69, 2 seconds faster than anyone else out on track. I bet Connor Price only missing the chase because he did have to miss a week during the regular season, which knocked him out of contention. And it's got to be frustrating because he could have definitely, with a lap time like that, could have definitely been dominant as the chase went on, or got out to a dominant start. But we're going to focus on tonight the weather. We're looking at 70 degree temperatures, clear skies. The track temperature sitting at a whopping 117 degrees. And we were looking at the forecast just before the broadcast went live, and it looks like that track is going to be getting hotter. We're expecting to see the temperatures rise. That's going to make this track really slick, especially with the almost no banking, a very flat track for these drivers. It's going to be hard for these drivers to keep those cars under control. Once again, we will have stages tonight as well. Our stage breaks will be at lap 33 and 74. So you see the 13 there getting loose. So 33 and 74 for the stage breaks. And with the pit window, these drivers can make it about 55 laps. So we are not going to need to see any green flag pit stops until the last stage, at least for fuel. But the tires is what's going to be on everyone's mind. We're listening to Hunter Geyer. He said his right front, after just 25 laps, is almost destroyed. So tire management going to be key. These drivers will get 6 sets of tires, though, tonight to make it to the end, and I think they're going to use every single one of those sets. As practice is coming to an end, we're going to head down trackside for our driver introductions. And we are back, folks. Qualifying now underway for these drivers. And we're going to take a look at that 48 of Connor Price. He set a quick lap time during practice. James Price in the chat seems pretty surprised at that lap time. Now, we did talk to Connor. He said that was a wall ride lap. So it looks like the wall ride is possible here at New Hampshire. And I'm not sure how the AERA admins are going to feel about a wall ride, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see someone keeping that in their back pocket. And Laredo saying this production is top tier. I appreciate it, Laredo. Glad to have you back in the chat. And we're seeing a lot of new faces in the chat, and a big shout out, a lot of new followers on Facebook showing up, as well as YouTube. And our broadcast on Thursday set a Rebel Racing Network record of 64 live viewers, and I appreciate that from each and every one of you guys. Looks like Connor Price's qualifying run coming to an end. Not exactly the run he was looking for, so I'm willing to bet he is going to be focused, or going to be keeping that wall ride lap in his back pocket. But we're going to go ahead and take a moment and talk to Connor Price. So we watch qualifying continue here. Connor, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So we just talked to you about that fast lap in practice, 2 seconds faster than anyone else. You did inform us that it was a wall ride lap. Now, the question is, how are the AERA admins going to feel about a wall ride in the actual race?
I don't know. If it comes down to it, I'm going to do it on the last lap. There's not a rule in the rule book that says I can't, but I feel like if I do, there's going to be one.
All right. Well, and that's how Ross Chastain did it. There was no rule in the rule book, so, you know, it's not a violation the first time, right?
Right. If it's not a rule, you can't punish me for it. That's how I look at it.
And, you know, I got to agree with you there, although, you know, I'm sure Seth LaCroix and company, they're firing up their computers right now trying to get to that rule book. But
if we take the green before it's in there, I'm going to protest it.
Fair enough. I mean, you can't read the rule book while you're driving. That should be against the rules right there. So, and it looks like we've only got about 45 seconds left before you got to crawl in that car. So, good luck tonight, and we'll be keeping an eye on you here tonight, especially knowing you're going to try that wall ride. But I'm looking, and I think there's a couple other drivers that are probably going to try it as well.
I think so.
So, good luck the rest of the night, buddy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that was Connor Price talking about his fast lap, and he said it's not a rule yet. We'll see if that changes by the end of the night. I do believe that their driver meeting is already over as well, so too little too late if they do try and prevent that wall ride. See Hunter Geyer on track now. And Hunter Geyer been joining us in the booth on Thursday nights. He'll be back out on track tonight. I tell you what, we sure are going to miss him in the booth, but glad to see him get back on track. And even with the chase starting and over 10 drivers eliminated from championship contention with the chase starting, still have a solid field here, looking at about 21 drivers making the race here. And Irene LaCroix over on Facebook, excited that we are back. It feels like forever since we've gotten to broadcast an AERA race. They will be on break next weekend, though, for 4th of July. A lot of people traveling out of town. So, break for Father's Day, back for a week, and then another break. And then we will be locked in for the final 3 races and decide who is going to be crowned champion at the end of the season. But Oh, correction. It looks like qualifying is going to go to 10 minutes here. Only a few cars left out on track. Joseph Truskowski, one of them. I believe he has just finished his run. Currently 2 drivers left to make their way on track for qualifying. And you see Truskowski getting loose there, coming off of turn 2 and smacking that outside wall. And it looks like he's going to park it. That is another driver that I think will definitely try that wall ride move if it comes down to it. He is known for his aggressive driving style, and he will do anything to win. All right, so just 2 drivers left to qualify here. Looks like we're going to have a 20-car field tonight, and it's still a good showing. So we wait for them to advance the session. We're going to step aside for a quick commercial break. All right, and we are back, folks. Still about a minute and a half left in qualifying. 2 left to qualify. I don't know if they're going to make it. Looks like they are going to end up having to start from the rear of the field, and that will be Alex Pelican and Russell Abbott. Alex Pelican, a championship contender right now, sitting 6th in the points. So he is going to have a tall order to fill here. And we'll go ahead and get an interview with the driver of the number 2, Hunter Geyer. Hunter, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Austin, how's it doing?
I'd be better if I had my buddy up here in the booth with me. I might just not let you get back down there.
Yeah, well, we'll see how we do tonight.
All right. We did talk to you before the race, and you mentioned you did have some concerns on the tire wear coming into this one.
Yeah, it's a little rough on tires. I know I hit about lap 20 and tires are just gone, so it's going to be kind of interesting. I did a 25-lap stint and my right front was down to 60%, so we'll see what the tires do. Qualified better than I thought I was going to, but I do okay here in other series, but what other cars just say, but we'll see what we can do. Not really in it for the chase, or so if those guys are battling, then I might just let them guide. But my goal tonight is just try to finish on the lead lap. Now, my wife is having some medical issues right now. She might be having gallbladder issues, so if her pain gets too bad, I might have to dip out. So if you do see me lose connection all of a sudden, that's probably what happened. But hopefully she does okay, and I can kind of finish this one out on the lead lap.
All right. Well, all the best to your wife. We hope she feels better. We'll let you get climbed on into that car as the looks like they're getting girded up now.
Yep, sounds good, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
And once again, that was Hunter Geyer. He'll be rolling off 4th tonight. We'll take a look at our official starting grid. Starting on the pole will be Dawson Price in the number 24 machine. To his outside in 2nd will be David Joyner driving the number 85. Third place will be Jackson Sidley driving the number 20. Hunter Geyer will start 4th in the number 2 machine. Wesley Carter will be rolling off 5th driving the number 23. 6th will be Tristan Haynes in the 02 car. Rolling off 7th will be Seth LaCroix driving the number 88. Connor Price will start to his outside in the 88. Joshua Edmonds will start 9th driving the number 17. And 10th will be Mark Morton driving the number 45. Joseph Miller will be rolling off 11th driving the number 16. Jerry Ward will start 12th and driving the number 89. And 13th, we have Cooper Liardi driving the number 7 machine. To his outside. And 14th will be Omar Rodriguez Jr. driving the number 92. Eric Rodeman will start 15th driving the number 96. And at 16th, we have Joseph Truskowski driving the number 57. Tyler Green will start 17th driving the number 77 machine. And 18th will be Chris Jones driving the number 76. Alex Pelican will roll off 13th, or 19th driving the number 13 after not qualifying. And starting in 20th will be Russell Abbott driving the number 4. So they make their way around the track. Dawson Price will lead them to the green flag. Curtis Stanford, unfortunately, not going to be able to make it tonight. Travis Neiman cheering on Door Horse Racing. Once again, that's Door to Door Racing and War Horse Racing coming together to race here. Or a strategic partnership between those two teams, if you will. But the pace car is off, and we're getting ready to get underway here. And the green flag is out. We are off stage 1 here. And Dawson Price going to get the jump there. And Seth LaCroix looking to charge already. He's there in the middle. They get through turns 1 and 2 cleanly. We saw Seth LaCroix there stuck in the middle, 3 wide racing. They're going to get sorted out single file now. No big changes up front, but back in the pack, Joseph Truskowski in that 57 car. Underneath Joseph Miller right now. Those two are at the tail end of the standings for the chase, battling it out on track early on. Truskowski already up 4 positions from where he started. We're going to see how long he can hang on to this car, though. We know his aggressive driving style. I'm afraid it might not mix here with the track conditions here at New Hampshire. A hot, slick track for these drivers, and it is chewing up tires. I think we're going to see Truskowski strong at the beginning, and then maybe starting to fade as these runs go on. Back up front, Hunter Geyer and Tristan Haynes on the move. Geyer up 1 position, Haynes up 2. Wesley Carter not getting the start he wanted. But Door Horse Racing moving up towards the front as David Joyner putting that pressure on Dawson Price right now. And Curtis Stanford saying Joseph Miller is no pushover. He's going to push back. We didn't see too much pushing out of Joseph Miller and Joseph Truskowski, but the night is still young. Back on track. The battle is on for the lead right now. David Joyner going to that outside line. And he's going to get out in front of Dawson Price, but Dawson Price still staying there locked in below him, trying to catch back up, but David Joyner going to take over the lead. Oh, trouble back in the pack. And that's LaCroix. LaCroix and Wesley Carter coming together. And they're going to drop back to 18th and 19th. And some front end damage to Seth LaCroix's car. We're going to take a look and see what happened here. And they're side by side as they go down the back stretch, and it seemed like Seth LaCroix just came up a little bit too much, got connected, and he goes around. Take another look at it here. All right, and we've already got some takers on pit road. Wesley Carter coming down pit road, joined by Russell Abbott, Eric Rodman, Cooper Liardi, and I did see Joseph Truskowski down there as well. So interesting enough, Seth LaCroix not going to come down pit road. And we see that front end damage, so we'll see how this plays out for him. And not sure if that was the move for Seth LaCroix. He's already back in the pack. I'll be trying to get that damage taken care of early on here. We're going to go ahead and ride along with Wesley Carter through this incident. And you see Carter and LaCroix both pushing extremely hard. They both slid up the track, and yeah, it looked like Seth LaCroix just came up too much. Nowhere Wesley Carter could have went. As we get ready to go back green flag racing here, they are lined up double file. And the green flag is out. David Joyner getting the jump there. He was in control of that restart. He leaves Dawson Price in the dust. And here comes Hunter Geyer to the inside of Price. Geyer competing for P2 now. And I'm not really sure which line is the preferred line at this point. We see when they get single file, they do like to go to the bottom. But seeing a lot of passing up top for these drivers. Now Hunter Geyer going to get by Dawson Price, but he overdrives that corner, slides right up the track. Dawson Price now to the inside. It looks like Dawson Price is going to get the drive off the corner. And that's going to get those tires real angry on that 2 car. So we'll see if he can hold off his teammate Tristan Haynes. And Curtis Stanford saying Hunter Geyer has had some bad luck recently. And, you know, I promised him I wasn't going to talk too much about it because it seems like every time we focus on him, that's when the bad luck finds him. So I'm going to cut him some slack and we'll go find someone else to talk about here. Take a look at Jerry Ward in that 89 car, as well as the we're seeing the 99 car on screen. Not sure exactly who's driving that, though. That might be Mark Morton there. And that is Mark Morton and that Carl Edwards throwback. Some battling going on back in the pack. And we do have a correction. We did mention Joseph Truskowski coming down pit road underneath that caution. He was shown entering pit road, but looks like we got some false data. He did not pit and is currently up to 7th. As the battling continuing behind him, Josh Edmonds and Alex Pelican battling it out. Pelican not qualifying in this one. It looks like Pelican going to clear Josh Edmonds this time by. He's got his sights set on Joseph Truskowski. Those two both need a good finish here to stay competitive here in the chase. As this one goes on, we're going to go back and take a look. Seth LaCroix being scored a lap, or laps down now. It looks like he may be out of this one. So we saw LaCroix avoiding pit road, and looks like he is going to be out of this one. And James Price saying tire wear should start showing in about 5 laps, and I think we're beyond that, James. They're still running laps within the 30s, but the tire's definitely getting worn down here very quickly at New Hampshire. I think what the report we got from Hunter Geyer said after about 25 laps, it was already down to 60% wear on those tires. And it is official. Seth LaCroix's night is officially done. So the night, or the chase, is going to start in frustration for our points leader coming in here. But second place, David Joyner, second place in points. David Joyner having a good night, out to a 2.5 lead over Dawson Price. James Price telling Seth to join the broadcast, and I tell you what, James, I was just looking for him in the Discord. I think he may have already logged off here. And development back in the pack. Alex Pelican has gotten to the inside of Joseph Truskowski. They are currently battling it out. And Mark Morton sitting there waiting to pounce as well. Pelican and Truskowski both with fast cars, but we did have some concerns about Joseph Truskowski burning the tires off that car early on into this run. And now 22 laps into this, we are down to 12 to go in the stage. But it looks like Truskowski feeling the effects of that tire wear. And then back in the pack, Wesley Carter, who was involved in that incident with Seth LaCroix, knocking on the door of the top 10 again. So he has Josh Edmonds in his sights. Looks like Edmonds going to move up the track now. Wesley Carter going to get by him, and I do believe Wesley Carter did take 4 tires while on pit road earlier. So now we're starting to see where everyone falls in on these old tires. So we come down to 9 to go. David Joyner. He was out to a 2.5 lead over Dawson Price, but Dawson Price picking up the pace here. It looks like Dawson might have taken care of his tires just a little bit more than David Joyner. Joyner does have the advantage of clean air, but he is coming up on lap traffic here. Now, New Hampshire's a wide racetrack, so plenty of room for him to be able to get around cleanly. Shouldn't see the lap traffic have too much of an effect on him. But David Joyner in a good position to get some stage points here. And we go check in with Josh Edmonds and Joseph Truskowski. Truskowski was charged in the front early on, and it's safe to say his tires are used up. Josh Edmonds trying to close in with him, but we saw Edmonds struggling here just a couple minutes ago as well. Now Truskowski moving up the track. And they're side by side as they go through turns 1 and 2. Edmonds going to get around Truskowski, and looks like Jerry Ward is going to come to the inside of Truskowski. Not able to complete the move there, but you see Truskowski sliding up that track. He desperately needs to get on pit road and get some fresh Goodyear Eagles on that 57 machine. And Truskowski's going to hold him off for now, but it looks like Connor Price now trying to join his brother in a podium position. He's got by Tristan Haynes. Just nearly completing that pass. He'll complete it now. And the Price brothers doing a really good job of taking care of their tires here. It's Dawson Price closing into about a second here, or less than a second on David Joyner. And Hunter Geyer, we've had some concerns about him saving his tires in some of our past races, but it looks like he is doing a good job here, holding on to that 3rd position and looking to get a podium finish here for stage 1. Now down to 2 to go. David Joyner going through turns 3 and 4. And 1 lap left to go here. And the yellow's going to wave. Chris Jones was around. And that'll bring an end to stage 1 here. We'll go back and see what happened here with Chris Jones. Not sure if he got help there or what happened. You see him all the way up top there. Oh yeah, he sent it in too hard, slid up the track, getting into Joseph Miller. And it looks like his issues continued here coming down pit road. Or coming off of pit road. Oh, the engine blew right there. And you see that front end damage to Joseph Miller's car. Joseph Miller, a chase car, last one in 10th place, and gets caught up at that with Chris Jones. Miller cannot be happy. We're going to try and get an interview with him once he comes off of pit road. Looks like he's going to get some damage repaired there, and we'll go ahead and try and get a word in with him. And Joseph, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Gotcha.
All right, man. We just finished watching that replay. Take us through what happened from your point of view there.
All I know is I passed him cleanly, and then he just overdid it and took me out. Took us both out.
Yeah, and I've been informed that his motor has blown, so he's out of that race. How is your car handling now?
I got 6 minutes of damage from, well, partially from earlier. I got punted earlier, and no caution, but I'm not sure how much damage I got from that and what I got from the last incident. Well, it is what it is. It's not handling well.
All right. Well, we are sorry to hear that. We're going to let you get on back down to the track, though. Thanks for taking a moment to talk to us.
Certainly.
All right. And while we're talking to him, we are back under green flag conditions here. David Joyner let him down to the green flag. He is still in control of this one. But now we have the Price brothers running number 2 and number 3. They're going to get in line. Now a 41 lap stage. So Dawson Price and Connor Price, we saw them both doing a very good job of taking care of their tires throughout stage 1. And they were closing with David Joyner in that 85 machine, but Joyner also had to work his way up to the front, make a couple of passes. Now he's out there with that clean air this entire time. We'll see if they can catch up to him again at the end of stage 2. But he is wasting no time opening up that lead to 0.6 of a second. And back in the pack, Hunter Geyer. Looks like he is now having some struggles. Tristan Haynes getting by him. And Alex Pelican knocking on the door. Oh, trouble back in the pack. That's Jerry Ward around. So Jerry Ward goes around, and that brings out our third caution of the evening. We'll go back and take a look, see what happened here. And Ward just overdriving it coming off the corner. It goes around, no damage done though, but that's going to get those tires a little bit angry at that car. That's going to affect the handling as this one goes on. And we'll go ahead and step away for a quick commercial break.
Every race car starts the same. Just a shell, waiting for identity. Because every car can race, but not every car gets remembered. Custom. Bold. Built to stand out. Bird wraps. Don't just race, be remembered.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back, folks, getting ready to get back underway. The lights on the pace car are out. David Joyner going to lead them to the green flag. That pace car going to dive off as we get back underway. David Joyner going through the restart zone. He's going to get the jump, and here comes Connor Price to the inside of his brother. Getting a good run down into turn one. Hunter Geyer trying to follow him. But Connor Price going to take over P2 now. And this is right where Connor Price wants to be. Hunter Geyer trying to get to the inside of his teammate, Tristan Haynes. Hunter Bird Boy Geyer, according to Sunk Track in the chat. The Geyer fans in full force tonight as Hunter Geyer is going to get by Dawson Price as well. Geyer back to third. When we go back, take a look at that 13 of Alex Pelican. He is still on the move now, up to 6th after not qualifying here. And Tristan Haynes putting the pressure on Dawson Price. So the Price brothers, looks like they're switching positions. Connor Price going up to 2nd. Dawson Price struggling here in stage 2. And just to look at the weather, we were expecting some changes in temperature, but it does not look like it has happened yet. Temperature still sitting at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. It was supposed to get warmer as tonight went on. But so far, staying right where it is. So the track not going through any major changes yet. We're not expecting to see any cloud cover move in either. And Travis Neiman telling Hunter Geyer not to cook the tires. So we go back to the front of the field. And then Seth LaCroix, he left before we could get an interview, but that is him in the chat over on YouTube. Animal, not in the mood to do any more talking tonight. And it looks like we had an issue out of Jerry Ward here just after the green flag. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened here. He was the one who brought out the yellow. And I'm not sure if he just thought he was clear of Joseph Miller, but smacks him and he goes for a ride through the infield. And looking back at the pack, Joseph Truskowski making his way back into the top 10, getting underneath Wesley Carter there. So Truskowski with another strong showing here at the beginning, but we're only about halfway through stage number 2 tonight. We get back to the front of the pack. Connor Price now backing off of David Joyner. Joyner looks like he was saving a little bit of tire, trying to lure Connor Price in and make him use up those tires just a little bit faster. Now Hunter Geyer closing in with Connor Price. Geyer looking to the inside, trying to find the right time to make that run. He's going to close up that gap just a little bit. Connor Price about 1/10 of a second faster that last time by. He's there now on Connor Price. Geyer going to second. Geyer moving to second, but you see him sliding up the track there. He may have used up those tires trying to make that move. We'll see if Connor Price is able to battle back. Oh, caution. Caution is out. Looks like Mark Morton caught up in this one. Morton in that number 99 machine. And it looks like he might have slid up the track, or maybe Joshua Edmonds coming down just a little bit. We'll ride along with Joshua Edmonds here. Yeah, and it looks like Joshua Edmonds was a little bit too close to that wall for comfort and moved down about an inch or so. And unfortunately, Mark Morton, that close racing, was right there. Now pit stops beginning here. David Joyner leading the field. It looks like everyone looking to take some fuel and get some four fresh tires on those cars. And Wesley Carter going to beat David Joyner off pit road. Looks like Wesley Carter only took fuel that time. And Travis Neiman saying, Hunter, don't speed. It looks like Hunter doing good on pit road. He's going to stay there in third. So they are doubled up, getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Wesley Carter will lead them to the green flag this time. And the green flag is out. We are back underway. And Travis Neiman asked about the 57 of Joseph Truskowski. Truskowski only took right sides underneath that last caution. And he is charging to the front here as David Joyner trying to get back by Wesley Carter there. Truskowski trying to clear Hunter Geyer. Hunter Geyer getting loose off of turn 2. And, oh no, Dawson Price out of shape there. And the yellow flag gonna wave. Dawson Price looks like he got out of shape and collected Hunter Geyer, who's already loose. We'll go back and see what happened here. You see Geyer loose there, and Dawson Price gets loose as well. Not sure if Connor Price caught a piece of that. Right along on the nose of Connor Price's car. Connor Price catching a little piece of that. Not sure if it did any damage. Definitely going to hurt the track position for Connor. So that'll be our 5th caution of the night. David Joyner going to go back to the lead here. Wesley Carter pitting here on lap 61. So David Joyner will be your leader. Joseph Truskowski will restart 2nd. Tristan Haynes in 3rd. Jackson Sibley in 4th. Connor Price will restart 5th. Alex Pelican in 6th. Josh Edmonds will restart 7th. Omar Rodriguez Jr. in 8th. 9th will be Cooper Liardi. And rounding out your top 10 will be Eric Rodeman. And we are doubled up, getting ready to get back underway here. Pace car's going to dive down pit road. David Joyner leading him to the green flag. He is off. Tristan Haynes putting that pressure on Joseph Truskowski. Haynes right to that throttle. So he tries to get 2nd away from that 57 car. And Haynes will clear him. As a top 10 going to get single file here. Connor Price, though, you see him getting that car as low as he possibly can. I don't think he meant to go onto that apron there. But you see Connor Price trying to make up every second he can. Oh, 3 wide racing. Oh, car sideways going down the backstretch. I believe that's Jackson Sibley. He's trying to save it, unable to though. We'll go back, take a look here. Saw Sibley. He took that corner too hot, was sliding up the track, and unfortunately, he locked up his tires there, tried to get back to that throttle, and slid right back up into Joseph Truskowski. And with that, we'll step away for another quick commercial break.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn 1. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back, folks. David Joyner still your leader, and Travis Neiman saying rip to Warhorse. Mike Hill saying that 57. I don't know if we could put the blame on the 57 there. Definitely looked like Jackson Sibley was the one at fault there. We'll go ahead and take a look from Sibley's point of view. You see Sibley just sliding up that track. He locks up those tires. So they are doubled up, getting ready to go back green flag racing here. Jackson Sibley back out on track, though. Gonna stay on the lead lap here. As David Joyner will lead them down the backstretch and to the green flag. And the pace car is off. Green flag is out. David Joyner going to take off. This time Connor Price going to get inside of Tristan Haynes. It doesn't look like Connor Price is going to be able to complete the pass there. Price still going to try that low line. And you see him cutting down as far as he can, trying to shave some time. And Travis Neiman saying Hunter is back to ninth. And yes, he is. I don't know how much damage Hunter got from that caution he was involved in. Doesn't look like too heavy damage. So Hunter might not be out of this one as the battle's continuing up here for second and fourth place. Edmonds making his way up to the top 5 for the first time tonight. So Tristan Haynes and Connor Price have gotten it figured out for the time being. We'll go back and take a look at Jackson Sibley. He's showing some speed as looks like Russell Abbott slow up there. Tyler Green getting into the back of him. Now it looks like most of the field worked out single filed, although Jerry Ward feeling that pressure from Omar Rodriguez Jr. Rodriguez Jr. been quiet these last couple weeks. He is sitting 8th in points right now in the chase standings, but seems like he's been hanging around the back most of the time. Every once in a while we'll see him make his way up to the front towards the end of these races. But been very quiet out of that 92 machine in the latter half of the regular season. Checking back in with Hunter Geyer. He's trying to find a way around that 24 of Dawson Price. Looking back towards the front of the pack, David Joyner opening up that gap yet again over Tristan Haynes. And now into stage 3. We did forget to mention that last caution was the end to stage 2. So David Joyner winning stage 2. They are now in stage 3. No more stage breaks. Just 73 laps to go till the end. Once again, the pit window looking to be about 55 laps. So David Joyner firmly in control here, but we're going to see if anyone saving tires can catch up to him. We see some bunch ups back in the pack. Alex Pella can make it his way into the top 5 along with Joshua Edmonds for the first time tonight. And this group right here, lots of close racing. Alex Pelican getting out in front of them now, but here comes Mark Morton getting by Joshua Edmonds. And James saying that 48 is fast mid-quarter. That he is. One thing about that 48, we're watching him. He likes to go down on that apron and get what speed he can by cutting that corner. Connor Price. He's trying to work every advantage he can. You see him there on the apron again. I tell you what, he's just got to stay within shouting distance of David Joyner, and we already know what moves he's going to try. And trouble. Caution is out. I'm waiting to see what this one is for. Not seeing any information here. All right, Seth LaCroix letting us know that was actually the stage break there. It was changed to 82. So looks like we did not get the memo here at Rebel Racing Network. Thank you for the update, Seth. All right, so David Joyner now wins stage 2. And David Joyner going to win the race off pit road, but all eyes are on Dawson Price. Not coming down pit road. He last pitted lap 61. So Seth LaCroix saying Dawson's math was slightly wrong on that one. And uh-oh, because Dawson Price has got to be doing some fuel calculations right now. Hopefully his math gets better when it comes to those fuel calculations. Now on 23 lap older tires. And he's only going to have about 20 more laps before he is forced to pit for fuel. And they are doubled up, getting ready to go back green flag racing. Oh, Seth, we know you meant on the stage break, but if he messed that up, we're waiting to see if he's going to mess up his fuel calculations here as well, was what we were getting at. But Dawson Price will be in charge of it this restart. Green flag is out, pace car's off. Dawson Price going to get the jump. We're going to see how long he can hold on. It's Connor Price to the inside of David Joyner. See Connor Price trying to cut down there. David Joyner getting to the inside of Dawson Price, and Seth saying he's not even worried about the fuel. More worried about the tires, especially if this stays green. And I'm wondering if Dawson Price may be short on tires here. We did see him involved in some incidents earlier on. And the caution will wave yet again. Josh Edmonds caught up in this. We take a look here. Joshua Edmonds, you saw him just getting loose, and he comes across the nose of Joseph Truskowski. Take a look at it from a different angle here. And a hard hit that's definitely going to require some repairs to both cars. Joseph Truskowski, I think he might have taken the worst of that, though. And he is going to be forced to come down and pit for repairs here. And that might end Joseph Truskowski's night. You see that right front tire poking out there. That car, some major damage to that front end from where Joshua Edmonds hit it. I do think that is going to end his night. And an update, Jackson Sibley being shown a black flag for speeding on pit road. Now, normally it's the other door-to-door racing driver, Hunter Geyer, getting the black flag for speeding on pit road, but this time it'll be Jackson Sibley. And speaking of Hunter Geyer, he is back up to 7th after an earlier race incident. But we are going to go ahead and step aside for a quick commercial break.
At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting-edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. FedUp, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated packages. Batteries not included. Actually, nothing's included.
All right, and we are back, folks. The drivers now doubled up. Lights on the pace car are out as we get ready to go back green flag racing. Currently 17 cars still left on the lead lap in this one. As David Joyner going to take the green flag. He gets an excellent start there. Connor Price right on his tail, and then Dawson Price on those old tires, giving them lots of room. Checking up that bottom line. Alex Pelican now getting by Dawson to the outside. Now Dawson going to try and fall in line right in front of Tristan Haynes. And Hunter Geyer back up to 7th, working his way around Wesley Carter. It looks like we have some trouble on that restart. Cooper Liardi and Russell Abbott having an incident here. We're going to go back, take a look, and see what happened. Liardi in the 7 machine. Oh, and Liardi out of shape there. He's trying to get that car going. Russell Abbott just going to spin him around again. No caution for that, though. But definitely some drivers not going to be happy with Liardi there. We go back to the front of the pack. David Joyner opening up the gap over Connor Price to about half a second. Alex Pelican is able to get by Dawson Price, take away that 3rd position as Dawson Price has continued to fall. And is trying to close that gap up. And Dawson Price on those old tires, falling all the way back to 9th now. As you see him keeping that field bunched up. Hunter Geyer going around him. And look at Hunter Geyer's car. We saw him, and there Hunter Geyer getting sideways. We'll go back, take a look at that one more time. It looks like Joshua Edmonds just moving up the track and getting into Hunter Geyer there. Take a look at it one more time from a different angle here. That's going to put a nice dent right in the rear end of that Mauve Manor car. And we will see some takers on pit road. Most of the field good to come down pit road. Connor Price, Alex Pelican, Wesley Carter, Omar Rodriguez Jr., Josh Edmonds, Tyler Green, Eric Rodman, Cooper Liardi going to stay out here though. And for most of these drivers coming down pit road, it looks like it's only been about 15 laps on those tires. They're going to come and get some fresh ones and maybe trying to avoid having to pit under green here, because they are inside that fuel window. We'll step aside for a quick commercial break.
It's race day on iRacing. The grid is set. Engines are rumbling. The chat is buzzing. The anticipation is building. But before the green flag waves, you need a moment that gets hearts racing. AERA Flyovers delivers cinematic, custom airplane flyovers for your iRacing or esports event, bringing real-world energy to your virtual track. Add a patriotic punch to your pre-race show. Whether you're hosting a league championship, a memorial race, or just want to hype the crowd, AERA brings the thunder. Fully customizable, easy to book, stream ready, guaranteed to get your drivers and fans fired up. Because when the jets fly, everyone pays attention. Stand tall, fly loud, race proud. AERA! Visit AERA Flyovers on Discord or Facebook and bring the flyover.
All right, and we are back, folks. The green flag is out. Connor Price led them to the green flag. And he gets an excellent restart there, opening up that lead to 0.3 of a second over Alex Pelican. And Connor going to be able to take advantage of that clean air for the first time tonight. Now we're down to 49 laps left in this one. An interesting pit strategy. We just spoke to a couple of the drivers. So the drivers that just came down pit road and pitted, including Mark Morton, David Joyner, Tristan Haynes, they're left with one set of tires to make it the next 48 laps. These guys that are out front right now have 2 sets. So looks like the guys out front are counting on at least 2 more cautions here. Now down to 47 to go. So we look at back in the pack, David Joyner on those new tires, trying to make his way back up to the front. And looks like David Joyner only took right sides here. And they are making their way through the pack. Mark Morton, though, in that 99 machine, the first car on new tires. Putting that pressure on Wesley Carter for 4th. So Mark Morton to the outside of Wesley Carter, trying to make his move. Looks like Omar Rodriguez Jr. going to move up the track, and Mark Morton nowhere really to go there. And caution is out. It looks like this might have been involving Hunter Geyer yet again. Go back, take a look here. Geyer and Rodman racing side by side. Oh, it was Jerry Ward. So Jerry Ward out of shape here. You see him out here all by himself, and it looks like a self-spin there. Yep, Jerry Ward. Not sure if he's trying to get down on pit road, but he comes back up into the racing surface. Going to collect Geyer and Rodham, and Cooper Liardi almost getting collected as well. So now those leaders going to come down pit road. And they're going to get the fresh tires put on their car. And some black flags being handed out here. Jerry Ward, Cooper Liardi, black flag for speeding on pit road. And David Joyner coming back down pit road. Interesting development out of that 85 car. He's going to go for more right side tires. And I think that's going to be it on tires for David Joyner. He's off in 7th. Connor Price going to be restarting 8th. Connor Price going to go with 4 fresh tires. We'll take a look here at the pit stop laps for these drivers. Once again, they were given 6 sets of tires, I believe. The lights on the pace car are out. We are getting ready to go back green flag racing. Mark Morton going to lead them to the green flag. The pace car is off. Green flag is out. Mark Morton taking off now. Here comes Tristan Haynes getting underneath Wesley Carter. And that 20 of Jackson Sibley, we saw him involved in, I believe it was 2 incidents earlier on, making his way into the top, looking to get into the top 3, but he cracks the top 5 yet again. And David Joyner with a good restart there. Just Joyner trying to find a hole to get by Jackson Sibley and Dawson Price there. Connor Price, though, looking to close that gap back up. Now Dawson Price moving to the inside. David Joyner going to get to his outside. They're forcing Joyner to run that top line. Wesley Carter going to move right up in front of Joyner. So they get it sorted out single file here. David Joyner really on the move. Connor Price, he was the next car that pitted underneath that last caution. He is back up to 6th, but looks like he's going to stall out just behind his brother here for the time being. It's Omar Rodriguez Jr. trying to close that gap up. Alex Pelican looks like he was the big loser on pit road, trying to battle his way back up. We saw him up front earlier on, but currently sitting 9th position. He's going to have to make his charge back up to the front here. So we are now down to 35 laps left in this one. And James Price saying going back into tire save mode. I don't know if this is necessarily where I'd want to be saving tires right now. Track position is going to be key. David Joyner not wasting any time getting back up to second place and trying to track down Mark Morton. And only about 10 lap difference on tires. Mark Morton has been kind of hanging out up front, just able to chill. Meanwhile, David Joyner has had to work his way back through the field, definitely putting some wear on those tires. So we'll see how Mark Morton handles Joyner. And James Price saying everyone should have one set left. That is the information we've got. As David Joyner has caught Mark Morton looking to the inside now. And Mark Morton getting in the outside wall. That's going to allow David Joyner to go back to the lead with 30 to go. Or 31 to go. Back in the pack, you see Omar Rodriguez Jr. now trying to cut the track as Alex Pelican putting the pressure on Connor Price. Price still unable to get by his brother on older tires. Dawson staying right in front of him. Now down to 29 laps left in this one. David Joyner taking over that lead, and he is already out to a 2.5 lead. Over the rest of the field, Tristan Haynes running back there in third, and he is holding up Dawson and Connor Price right now. Connor Price now going to look to the inside of Dawson Price. Not quite there. Oh, and it appears we've got an issue with Joshua Edmonds. Edmonds being shown off the pace. We'll go back, try and take a look, see what exactly happened with Joshua Edmonds. And we didn't see anything happening to Edmonds there. Still out there right in front of Joseph Miller. So we go back to David Joyner. He is still holding on to that lead about a second and a half, down to 24 laps left in this one. Meanwhile, while we were trying to look at what happened to Edmonds, Alex Pelican getting by Connor Price. And Alex Pelican charging to the front now. He's gotten to the inside of Dawson Price, and he's going to set his sights on Tristan Haynes now. Pelican showing some speed and not quite as fast as our leader, though, David Joyner. Although Morton is closing back in with David Joyner. We'll go back, check in with Connor Price. Still unable to get by his brother. That group staying real close-knit. Hunter Guy are back out on track after being involved in multiple incidents here. And most of the field getting spread out now. So the likelihood of a caution bringing everyone back into shouting distance of David Joyner is dropping tremendously. So now the question is anyone going to try and make a crazy move to get by David Joyner at the end of this one? Mark Morton sitting there in second place. He is about a second, 1.3 seconds behind David Joyner. And we did see Connor Price in practice. That wall ride can make up about 2 seconds. So Mark Morton still within distance. A wall ride might be able to get him by David Joyner, if it comes down to that at the end. Alex Pelican, it looks like his charge to the front is going to stall out here just behind Tristan Haynes. Now that group of cars getting spread out as we come down to 16 laps left to go. Joyner coming off of turn 4. Now David Joyner, it's like he's listening to the broadcast in the car because he's opening up that gap over Mark Morton now. Trying to make sure that no one can attempt a wall ride to get by him. It's Connor Price now having to deal with Hunter Geyer. Geyer looks like he sat on pit road to get all that damage repaired. Looks like a new car there. Is Alex Pelican now to the inside of Tristan Haynes. Not quite able to complete the pass, but that's going to bring Dawson Price back. That's going to allow him to reel those two back in. And the battle is on for third. Ooh, some contact with the wall. Alex Pelican out of shape. Dawson Price going all the way to the inside. Connor Price getting to the outside now. So Connor Price going to get by Dawson. That might be just what he needs. $11 laps to go. Connor Price looks like he's going to get his spot back from Alex Pelican as well. Pelican not getting the drive off the corner. And Connor is going to go to the inside, trying to get inside of Tristan Haynes. He's going to clear him. Or not going to clear him. Connor going to drive the wheels off it. Oh, Tristan Haynes, you saw him a little bit out of shape. You saw those brakes glowing on that 0-2 car. Now Connor Price takes over third place. Down to 10 laps left to go in this one. Looks like Alex Pelican, Omar Rodriguez Jr. trying to get to the inside of Pelican. And Pelican looks like he might have used up his car there. And Connor is gaining just a little bit on the cars in front of him, but with 5 seconds between him and the leader, I don't know how much of a difference this is going to make. As David Joyner trying to navigate the lap traffic of Wesley Carter now. And it'll be down to 8 laps left in this one. So Joyner firmly in control of this one. He's opening it up, that gap up to just under 2 seconds over Mark Morton. So Mark Morton's even thinking about trying a wall ride. It's going to have to be, he's going to have to do it probably a couple of times. And I don't know how well that's going to work out here. You can get away with it at the short tracks like the LA Coliseum. We've seen that a couple of times here on the Rebel Racing Network. And Seth LaCroix is saying Joyner put on an absolute clinic. And sounds like some math already being done by Seth LaCroix, and he's going to have to win the next 3 after coming home last in this one. Now down to 6 to go. And back in the pack, Connor Price giving up his position to his brother Dawson. Once again, Connor Price not in the championship running. Dawson Price is. Dawson came into this one 4th in the championship chase. He's going to get out ahead of Joshua Edmonds. So, according to our calculations, if he holds his position here, he will move to second if they were to wave the checkered flag right now. David Joyner obviously going to move to first after his dominant display here tonight. Oh, that was a close one. Joyner getting real close with Cooper Liardi there. Now down to 3 to go. And Mark Morton closing in now as well within a second. So the lap traffic not helping out David Joyner. So we come down to 2 to go now. David Joyner on the backstretch. He's just got to cross that line, and the next flag will end the race. And the white flag is out. 1 to go. Next flag will end the race. 1.2 seconds separating David Joyner from Mark Morton. We'll see if Morton's going to try it. And Morton not going to try the wall ride. And David Joyner going to win the first race of the chase. Mark Morton coming home second. Connor Price in third. Dawson Price will come home fourth. Omar Rodriguez Jr. in fifth. It looks like a late race incident. Hunter Geyer and Wesley Carter coming together here. Hunter Geyer looked like he tried the wall ride. For absolutely no reason, Wesley Carter cannot be happy with that. And we got to look at Connor Price. He was there battling with his brother. Connor Price sending it in the wall ride to get by Dawson Price. And Dawson got to be sitting there thinking, come on, man, we're supposed to be brothers. I needed those points. All right, and it looks like David Joyner, no celebration out of him today. He's just going to pull it down pit road and get to focusing on next week. Or, I'm sorry, 2 weeks from now. So we'll go ahead and get everyone set up for our post-race interviews. And still waiting for some drivers to join the discard. And Clara shouting out Jackson Sidley in that number 20. So still waiting on David Joyner and Mark Morton to make their way to the oh, here they come now. We're going to go ahead. Still waiting on Mark Morton, but we're going to go ahead and kick off our interviews with our number 3 finisher, Connor Price. Connor, it's Austin up at the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, you said you were going to do it, and you did it. You did the wall ride. Take us through that move to get by your brother there on the last lap.
I just held my foot to the floor, and I was either seeing God or a checkered flag. I just laid her up against the wall, and I came out of 2. I was worried being behind Dawson because I didn't want to punt him. Like, we have a rule against punting people, but not against riding the wall, so, luckily, I think I missed him and didn't ship him or anything and just rode around. I figured it was for a podium, so it was worth it.
Well, it was for a podium, but the big talk of tonight has been the playoff point standings, and obviously you missing that 1 week way back in the season, you're not in contention for the championship, but your brother Dawson is, and that whole points race has just changed with Seth LaCroix being out of this one early and coming home last place. David Joyner is going to move to first, and Dawson Price going to move to second in the standings. I believe Joshua Edmonds also had an issue. So, did he say anything about maybe needing those points, to try and stay close with Joyner to keep this chase close?
He didn't inform me on anything for the points. I think he'll end up towards the front battling Joyner anyways. It was a single point, which I know championships can be decided by a single point. But I believe Dawson will have good finishes. He's really good in these cars, and I've seen him drive against Joyner and outperform Joyner. I have good hopes that he'll be a real contender.
All right. Well, we will be keeping an eye on that, and we'll also be keeping an eye on for a sibling rivalry if he doesn't beat out Joyner.
If he doesn't beat out Joyner and it's by a single point, I'll take the blame for that.
I tell you what, if that's the case, I can't wait for season 2. We might see a breakup of Apex Racing there.
We might, if that happens, we might.
So, but we're going to let you get on out of here. Anyone you want to thank before we do, though?
I want to shout out my mom and dad. I know that they're watching at home. Shout out my girlfriend, Carrie. She sits and watches the whole race with me. Shout out all of Apex. We did really good tonight, the ones of us that were able to finish. Unfortunate for Seth and Josh. They just got dealt some bad cards. One shout out to you for streaming and keeping everything lively. You do a great job at it. And just shout out to everyone in the league. We all keep it clean. Most of us keep a level head. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy, and we will see you back here in 2 weeks.
Alrighty, I'll see you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Once again, that was Connor Price taking home third with a last lap wall ride. We're going to move on to our second place finisher, though. Mark Morton. Mark, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
All right, man. Congratulations on a second place finish here tonight. And I got to say, I was a little surprised. You were kind of quiet the first half of the race and came out of nowhere with the pit strategy to get up front. Take us through your decision making there that led to that second place finish.
I was just kind of just minding my tires, just sorry, putting my boots on as I'm going as I'm talking to you. I was just kind of minding my tires, just running my line, not pushing, not really trying to run that hard because I knew eventually everybody would wash up, and I had a feeling as I'm still learning how to run these cars, I'm still also managing to trying to save tires. So I don't know if I'm pushing too hard or saving too much. So I was just kind of riding behind them, let everybody use up their stuff, and then just pass them one at a time. And it actually worked out favor. It worked out in my favor. I took my second to last set of tires, I think, on lap 100, and I was banking on another caution so I can run away with it. But little did I know that David still had another set. So even if there was another caution, I'm pretty sure he would have pitted too, and he probably would have won.
All right, and talk about shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Now, I don't know if you're aware, Connor Price, our third place finisher, He rode the wall to get by his brother back there to take third. Did that ever cross your mind to do that to try and squeak out a win here?
Honestly, it did. I was just telling David, I was like, I was 0.2 seconds away from actually doing it, but with him being in the playoffs, and even though from what I've heard that there's no rule on it, I didn't want to take a win from a playoff driver. I mean, this is only my second race, so I'll be content with a second place finish.
All right. Well, you've definitely got some different mentality than Connor Price. Connor Price said he's going to take that position away all day. But glad to hear you're out here showing respect to our playoff drivers. And glad to have you joining us. Although I have probably called you Mark Martin at least 3 times on the stream at one point or another.
No, that's perfectly fine. It's the names are pretty similar, so I'm not entirely too upset about it. I mean, it's definitely a compliment, even though he's a hell of a lot better driver than I am. I'm just lucky to have a name semi close to his.
Yep. So we're gonna let you get on out of here, though. Before we do, though, anyone you want to thank?
First and foremost, you for taking time out of your evening to broadcast the race. As always, putting on a heck of a broadcast. My spotter, David, hopefully he'll be here with us next week. My NCO, so I'm technically on staff duty right now. He was nice enough to let me to come home and race during the 24 hours that we have to work. So if he's listening or watching, hopefully he knows that I'm down on the way, and hopefully he doesn't give me a counseling when I get there, because that was the rule. If I would have won, I would have been able to stay an extra hour. But because I got second, he's talking a whole bunch of shit right now and a whole bunch of crap, excuse my language. And he's probably going to laugh at me when I get back to work.
He's probably going to tell you should have rode the wall. Actually, not the first time we've had someone racing on staff duty here on the Rebel Racing Network, though.
His first words is going to be like, "I suck." So hopefully these board games that I bring are going to be put me back in good graces with them.
All right, man. Well, it sounds like you got a haul tail and get back to work. So we'll let you get on out of here, man. Congratulations again on a second place finish.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, buddy. All right, and that is Mark Morton getting ready to go back to his 24-hour duty. He came home second tonight, but we're going to move on to tonight's big winner, David Joyner, driver of the number 85. David, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me? And a little bit of mistake there. I think I grabbed Connor Price by accident. So, David, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, man. Congratulations on taking home the win here tonight. You did it in dominating fashion. Starting from the front row in second, you didn't waste any time getting out to the lead and leading the 119 laps out of this one. And even more important, you've taken over the first place position in the chase for the Cup. How does it feel?
Feels great. That was the goal. Hopefully I could have done it tonight, and I did. So definitely performed better than I thought I would, for sure. But definitely when I saw some of the playoff people had trouble early, I definitely said to myself, I need to capitalize. That's what I did.
And definitely capitalizing here. So Seth LaCroix, he's being scored as last place after being our first caution here. And he said he even set it up in the chat. He choked it away, and that was going to be the biggest hill to climb. 10 points separating you two, and LaCroix has dominated the second half of that regular season, and it looks like he's going to be. He was doing the math already. He said he's going to have to win out these next 3 races to even have a shot at the win. And then Joshua Edmonds getting into some trouble. Dawson Price was looking to close the gap up a little bit. He was running third. His brother Connor taken that position away from him with a wall ride on the last lap. You got to feel pretty good going into 2 weeks from now when we get back, hit the track with only 3 left, and that sort of gap over these guys.
For sure. I definitely wanted to build a point cushion as much as I can before Bristol. That's the big worry on my mind. So, and that's right before the finale. So Kansas is pretty good to me. So I think I'll run pretty decent there. But Bristol, I'll definitely need practice for that one.
All right. And have you already looked forward to practicing for Bristol, or are you still locked in on focusing for Kansas here in 2 weeks?
Just taking it week to week, focusing on Kansas.
All right. Well, we're going to let you get on out of here. Before we do, though, anyone you want to shout out?
Shout out to all my friends and family, and even a lot of my coworkers from the Seagirl watching. So thank you. Appreciate y'all tuning in.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy, and we will see you back here in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, and once again, that was David Joyner coming home in first tonight. We're going to go ahead and run through our official results real quick. Once again, David Joyner taking home the win. Mark Morton finishes second. Connor Price in third. Dawson Price will finish fourth. Omar Rodriguez Jr. finishes fifth. Tristan Haynes in sixth. Jackson Sibley finishes seventh. Alex Pelican comes home eighth. Joshua Edmonds runs ninth tonight. Joseph Miller will finish 10th. Eric Rodman in 11th. Jerry Ward comes home 12th. Cooper Liardi finishes 13th. Tyler A. Green in 14th. 15th was Russell Abbott. Wesley Carter finishes 16th. Hunter Geyer comes home 17th. Joseph Truskowski will finish 18th. 19th was Chris Jones. And rounding out your field in 20th, 140 laps down, was Seth LaCroix. Once again, guys, next Sunday, AERA will be off for the 4th of July holiday, but in 2 weeks, they will be back live from Kansas, but we've got a lot of racing before that. This Wednesday evening, TCR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series will be coming to you live from just a second. Let's get that schedule pulled up. TCR will be coming to you live from Nashville Super Speedway on Wednesday evening. And then we will have the return of the Viscera Florida Academy Cup Series for their second race of the season live from Auto Club on Thursday evening, 8:30 p.m. Central or Eastern Standard Time. And then 2 weeks from now, we will have AERA back on the Rebel Racing Network live from Kansas. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Do not forget to hit that like, follow, subscribe button, and we will see you back here on Wednesday evening.